Welcome to At the Buzzer Radio with your host, Jacob Force. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Are you listening?
What's going on, everybody? We back in it. I know it's been a minute. We'll have to jump back into it, though. March Madness. Anyone else going mad? Woo! We back. March Madness 2021. Let's go, Beavers. You know I'm repping every day. Definitely it's been a minute. How's it going, everybody? I know it's been a little while. Sorry, it has been a little bit of a nightmare going on lately. I've had work, trying to get back into school, trying to just be sane, you know, with everything going on. But just a lot of hard work, trying to do a bunch of different stuff. You know, I always have something going, and that's really no excuse. Part of it is just me being, you know, lazy on my days off. But days off, like, I can only get so many, and then I have to like do chores or something, you know. So, and then like I said, school's coming back up, and I'm hopefully, you know, gonna go back to school, doing all that again. So that process has been a nightmare lately, and but it's going better. You know, fingers crossed. I think. Thank the Lord every day that I can, you know, still kick it. How do you like my new setup? I mean, I know I did have this desk before. You just couldn't see it from your side because I was so cramped in my room. So now I kind of opened it up a little bit, kind of put some more lighting. I know it's a little bit different, and I'm trying to just work on the video aspect. I know it looks a little bit. So I'm looking down on my computer because I can see the camera as well. It looks a little bit fuzzy even still, and I still drop a little bit of frame rates. Unfortunately, I've just been trying to figure it out exactly. I think I do need a new computer that has a little more processing power, just because this thing almost does it. Like, I think I do get most of my frames, and the audio's been great because I have a good setup on my Rodecaster, but the frames are still a little bit to be desired. Anyways, I just want to have a quick little episode. It's going to go up on my podcast, up on my YouTube. Obviously, it is March Madness, everybody. Anyone else fill out their brackets? I have a lot of red. I didn't do too bad the first day. Today's been nightmare. It's been a nightmare on my picks. So I'm hoping that it didn't completely kill. So far, my Elite 8 and my Final Four and my championship games are still intact. So most of my games that I've lost are just like a one-rounder, maybe. Like they would only go the next one, and then I have them losing anyways. So that is good, except for Virginia today. But we'll get into that. There's a lot of other news. Hopefully I'm going to come back with another episode with there's a bunch of like news. I know the Seahawks, they just signed their running back, so welcome back to that one. I'm excited to see. There's a lot more news. I mean, with Russell Wilson right now, he's, you know, wants a new offensive line. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then a bunch of other just signings and cuts around the league, as well as the Blazers back-to-back wins with the New Orleans Pelicans. So I'm glad to see that they are getting wins. But is it time, you know, to fire Terry Stotts? I don't know if he is the one to bring us a championship, especially since we do only have a few more seasons with Damian Lillard in his prime. So I'm hoping that they, of course, keep winning. They've been doing okay. I believe they're 5th in the West right now. And so they can be better. And I do believe they can be better. So there's a lot to be debated, and let me know in the comments and what topics you guys want me to talk about. I think I'm going to focus on the Blazers and the Seahawks definitely for a few episodes, and then we'll get into more general news. But there's definitely a lot going on the last couple of days. I did have Thursday, Friday off work, and all of Friday I've just been watching March Madness because, you know, I love my college basketball. And then today I was working most of the day, I had to go close, and I had the games on my phone the whole time. You know what I mean? So I'm always glued to it. There's so much going on. I do have it on the TV as well over here. So if I do look over to the left, I promise I'm just looking at the score. It is Texas against Abel Christian. Abel. I'm sorry if I butcher that. 14th against Texas, who's the third seed in their bracket. It looks like Texas is down by 3. Yeah, they're down by 3 with 2.5 minutes or so to go. So I have Texas winning, so they better pull that off. It's definitely going to be interesting. So let's just jump right into it. Let's jump into my bracket. So for those of you on YouTube, you can see my bracket. I did pull up a little picture, took a still image, and this is up to date so far at the timing of this shoot. I have all the ones in red marked as the ones that I missed. All the highlighted in orange are the games that I did get correctly. And then obviously I'm going to still fill in more to go. There's still games going on right now as I'm doing this podcast. There's a few. I believe there's Texas going on right now. UCLA still playing BYU, and Gonzaga is kicking Norfolk State's behinds right now. So I do believe I got all those 3. I mean, Texas, though, is going down to the wire. Is the only one that might have another red. But otherwise, I will fill in some more orange. Everyone else on my podcast, I know you can't see the image of my bracket, but let's just say the first day I had 3 reds. So I did have Georgia Tech. I had Georgia Tech beating Loyola Chicago. That was a toss-up for me. 8-9 matchup. I probably should have went Loyola Chicago because they do have, I believe that's the team that has the nun that's like 101, right? That they bring as their lucky charm. And they made that big run a few years ago. I should have probably just go with the nun, go with the lucky charm. I didn't this time. I thought Georgia Tech would. It was a close game, so I thought they would pull it off, but they didn't. I had Clemson beating Rutgers, which I did like the Rutgers team. There's a new coaching staff, and they're really breeding a whole new way of basketball there at Rutgers again, and that's exciting to see. I thought Clemson would be the better team. That was a tough one, 7-10 matchup, seeding wise. So of course, like these close ones, I don't really know exactly, but I did pick the upsets. But the other one, let's go over to Ohio State and Oral Roberts. Of course, that's the big game of the day, the first day. Oral Roberts just number 15, knocking off Ohio State number 2 in their bracket. That is a big win for Oral Roberts. Congrats to them. I did not know that Oral Roberts did have one of the leading scorers in the NCAA. So if I did know that early on, like I watch basketball, I follow up, and I did a lot of my stats as well. Like I looked at all the stats before picking all these. I like to think that I know a little bit about basketball, but I mean 15-2 matchup. I believe it's only happened 7 times. I should pull up the stat, but I believe it's only happened very rarely, right? And but it did happen again. Ohio State did go down. That was a huge upset that I did not see coming. As it goes on, though, I had Baylor beating Hartford. I had Wisconsin upsetting North Carolina. I didn't like North Carolina early in the season, and so Wisconsin played pretty well there. And then I had Villanova beating Winthrop, that another 12-5 matchup. I didn't think that Winthrop just had enough firepower to beat Villanova at the time, even though it is a 12-5. That's a very popular seeding to have upset. I did pick North Texas over Purdue, 13 ranked over 4th ranked Purdue. That was kind of off the seat of my, I don't know, flying off a seat. So I don't really know why I picked them. My biggest rationale for this year, I looked at the stats. I looked at their true shooting percentage. I looked at free throw shooting, and I looked at points given up by opposing teams or by their teams for opposing players. So I just picked who had the best free throw percentage, the best shooting percentage, and the lowest points allowed. And so I'd pay based off of those 3. I don't know why, but that was just what I just chose this year. It's always just kind of random, of course. there was, it's so hard to pick a perfect bracket and know exactly what's going on, but it was kind of fun. So I did pick that North Texas upset over Purdue. Like I said, I don't know. My dad literally called me. He was like, dude, you see North Texas beat Purdue? And I was like, yeah, I saw it. Like, I was watching all the games. And he was like, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, I picked him to win in my bracket. He's like, no, you didn't. No, it's one of those stories where it's like, okay, you did not have that pick. But I did. I promise you, if you can see on the screen and then everyone on my podcast, just trust me. I did pick North Texas. And then I did have Texas Tech beating Utah State. And I had Arkansas beating Colgate. That was a close game. Colgate really, really showed out for that one. Arkansas barely won that one. I was really worried that first day. I had Florida beating Virginia Tech. And then we obviously talked about Ohio State, Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts definitely did that. But I have Florida beating Oral Roberts, or actually I did have them beating Ohio State anyways. So it didn't kill me down the line. That should, if all goes well, I hope. I always root for the underdogs. I hope these low ranked teams just go far and just bust everyone's bracket. I'm rooting for that in the fun games like that. But let's see. And then I had Illinois beating Drexel. They completely handled them. Illinois looks really, really good this year. We talked about the Loyola Chicago, Georgia Tech. Of course, the Loyola Chicago beat them. They're not going to beat Illinois, though. Oregon State, my Beavs, go Beavs. We did beat Tennessee. We were 12. They were 5. That was of course, I'm going Oregon State. That was a logical pick and a homer pick. Like, I didn't think Tennessee had it. Tennessee played well, but we played better, and I was super excited. Oregon State did beat them 70-56, and that was a fun game. Zach Reichel, I see you, boy, hitting it almost from half court. We got Lucas just shooting it from everywhere. Ethan Thompson having a great game, and I just love seeing my boys. I love the Beavs. I'm glad that they did pull it off, and I'm so excited. First win since the 80s, I believe. Since that old coach. If my dad was on, he would know this right away. I don't know why I knew this, but since the old times, it's been a minute since we've been in this. It's been a minute, and it's been a long day of work for me, so my knowledge is going out the window. But you know what I'm saying. Oregon State did beat Tennessee. I did have that on my bracket. I promise you, everyone, I did. I'm not lying on the podcast. Everyone on YouTube can see it. Go Oregon State. That was fun. They match up against Oklahoma State, who beat Liberty in their next matchup. So it's OSU versus OSU, orange and black. I think the orange and black will win. I think OSU will win. It's kind of fun. And I'm obviously rooting for Oregon State. On my bracket, I do have Oklahoma State beating them, though. They do have Cunningham, one of the greatest players in the NCAA, averaging 21.5 points per game. He didn't look so good in the first round, though. He did come on quite late and got his points. I know all my friends, everyone at Oregon State and everyone that I know, all my players, I love you. I'm always rooting for you. I had to go with a logical bet on this one. I don't know why. I had to go logical, and I'm so excited. Please bust my bracket. Please, please, please bust my bracket. Wide open, Oregon State all the way. And then I got Syracuse. I did have Syracuse beating San Diego State, 11 ranked Syracuse over 6th ranked San Diego State. That was my big upset too. I just kind of went homer on that one. Coach Thompson on Oregon State. He went to Syracuse. I just kind of liked what they were doing there this year. And then I do have them beating West Virginia. Did beat Morehead State for them to go on, so I have that going. But I have Syracuse upsetting West Virginia as well, so I have them going all the way to the Sweet 16, which is, I don't know. We'll see. They did look good. And then obviously my Clemson-Rutgers game, I picked Clemson. Very close game. It could have gone either way. Rutgers pulled that off, and then Houston beat Cleveland State pretty handily. So I have, that going on. And then today, it just kind of blew up. Obviously, Gonzaga looks like, I think they did win. Oh, man, looks like Texas Texas is down by 3 with 56 seconds left to go over Abil Christian, ranked 14. So I'm still watching that. That's super wild. I have Texas going a couple of rounds, so they better pull this off. I'm kind of scared for that one. Looks like Gonzaga just completely killed Norfolk State. I didn't even look at the score. I'm sure it's ended right now, but that's probably another highlight. Let's see. Oklahoma did beat Missouri. That was a close one. I just kind of tossed. That was a toss-up for me. UC Santa Barbara versus Creighton. Man, my boy Ja'Cory, he played hard. He did play for Oregon State, and he transferred to UC Santa Barbara. And, man, I really wanted that to happen. They literally lost by 1 point, and Ja'Cory made a great pass out of the double team to his post down low, and he went up, and it just bounced out. Oh, my goodness. That was tough to watch. I was, like, screaming at work. I was like, no! Because Ja'Cory, man, my man, dude, you played so well. I love watching you, and that was tough. You definitely deserved that win. Unfortunately, just sometimes the ball just bounces out, you know? It literally was in the rim and just bounced out. And those just kill you. Those kill you. So Creighton moved on there. I picked Virginia over Ohio, which looking back on it, I mean, I had to pick the defending champs. So of course, I really liked Ohio, and then they played well. I like watching them. They have really good guard play. But I had to just go with the defending champs. Their coaches proven, and Ohio had a new coach, so I just didn't see. I thought there would be, some early jitters, but Ohio handled them. They beat them, and Virginia was supposed to go on a couple run because they would have beat UC Santa Barbara for me. So then they would have lost to Gonzaga. So they have a couple of rounds that got hurt there in that bracket. That's probably my worst section of the bracket. And then I do have USC beating Drake today. They did. And then I have Kansas beating Eastern Washington, which Eastern Washington, shout out to you guys. You guys played hard against Kansas, and Kansas is a good team. You guys were leading for a while now, and that was really great. Oregon did, by default, beat VCU. Now, VCU just had a big, massive COVID going on, and I guess multiple players tested positive today, and they were unable to play. So the rule is in the NCAA tournament, if you are tested positive, you just forfeit the match. And if you don't have enough players to field, and I guess you can play, like if you have 5 players that test negative, you can play them, but I think there was a little bit of weird tracing issue, and they just didn't want to risk it, even though they probably had enough players to play the game. They didn't want to risk it. The NCAA and they did have to go by the local state and county regulations as well. So between this county and the NCAA, they just ruled it out, and they didn't think they wanted to expose Oregon or any other players. So they, unfortunately, VCU is down, and Texas just hit a shot to go up by 1 with 13 seconds left. That was a big shot. I hope everyone's watching this game. This game is really good. It's going down to the wire. There's so many down to the wire games today, everybody. Man, it's just like, wow. I've been on edge for the last 2 days. And then let's move on. So Oregon wins by default. And then I have Iowa beating Grand Canyon University. Another transfer, Grand Canyon University guard from Oregon State. He transferred earlier. Congrats to Grand Canyon University going to the tournament. That's awesome. But they did lose to Iowa, so I did have Iowa beating them, and then I did have Iowa beating the Oregon Ducks in the next round anyways. So Oregon gets another round by, and maybe they'll be rusty, and that might not even be good. I think they would love to have played the game. Of course, you'd love to move on, but that's not even fair. Michigan did beat Texas Southern. Yeah, I believe they played Texas Southern, so they handled them well. I have Michigan going all the way, by the way, and for everyone knowing. I had St. Bonaventure upsetting LSU. Now, that was a close game as well. LSU played pretty well, though. That was a toss-up. 8-9 matchup. I just went for the underdogs. I don't really know why, because I picked the Loyola, Chicago, Georgia Tech on the other side. 8-9 matchup as well. I probably should have went 1-8 win and 1-9 matchup, but I had both 9s winning and they both lost. So I don't know why I was going for the underdog this year on the 8-9 matchups, but hindsight, maybe if you go one, not the other, I don't know. I did have Georgetown beating Colorado, but Colorado looked amazing. That was a one Pac-12 team that I just thought Georgetown was on a roll. They won the 6 of the last 7 games. I thought they were ready to go. And it's down to the wire. Oh. Sorry, like I said, the game is still on. Texas is still up by 1 over Abil Christian with 1.2 seconds. I believe Abil Christian still has the ball. They drove it into the middle of the key. He had a layup. Oh, he got blocked. That's what it was. He was going for the foul, got blocked. Ooh, that was a really big block. And then they got blocked again. Somebody called a foul, though. Did they call a foul? I'm sorry for everyone on podcasts or anything right now. I am still watching the game because I just wanted to get a episode out. But it's pretty crazy. Let's move on. They're going to go into timeout anyways. And then so I got Maryland. I did have Maryland, number 10 seed, upsetting UConn. I did pick that, which is awesome. Like I said, I have Texas meeting this game and moving on to beating UCLA as well. Oh, I totally skipped. So it was Colorado. Colorado was they looked amazing. Honestly, they looked way better than I thought they were. I mean, they were good, and obviously Oregon State beat them in the Pac-12 tournament in the championship game. But they looked way better than I thought. So they looked like they could honestly maybe get Florida State in the next round. I have Florida State beating UNC Greensboro. And they did. And then so Colorado, I wouldn't be surprised. And I would love for obviously Pac-12 teams to keep winning. So if they beat Florida State, I think they're going to give them a run for their money. But then they'll have to run into Michigan for sure. And I don't know if anybody can beat them. UCLA beating BYU. I think they did. They were up. I have to check. These games are still going on. I believe they just beat them. Maybe. Like I said, Texas is down to the wire right now. Texas is leading up 1 with 1.2 seconds to go. Abil Christian Wildcats have a free throw. They have free throws right now. These are the biggest free throws of his life. Yeah, so they're up on free throws. I had Maryland beat UConn. I talked about that. And I had Alabama beat Iona. Iona looked really good. Rick Pitino had those boys playing amazing. I don't really love Rick Pitino. There's some shadiness with Louisiana. And, I don't know the exact things, but he was paying players and all that. I know this happens a lot, but man, it really frustrates me when they do get away with it. And he went to Iona, so he definitely, they give him a run for money. Alabama looked really good though. And that kind of finished up that first 2 days. Like I said, Texas is down by the wire. Abil Christian just tied it up with their 1 free throw. He has another free throw to go with 1.2 seconds left. It's up and it's down. Wow, Texas has no timeouts. They have to go the whole length of the court, 1.2 seconds. Ready to inbound. Number 30, ready to inbound the ball. Heaves it down court. Abil Christian steals it, and that's game. Wow. Number 14, Abil Christian upsets number 3, Texas. Whoa. That is a big... The madness is around, ladies and gentlemen. The madness is here. That screws up my whole bracket too. Dang. That's the worst loss that I've taken in my bracket. I had Texas going there, beating UCLA, beating Alabama, and then losing to Michigan. So, dang. Let's go. My Elite Eight is Gonzaga, Iowa, Michigan. It was Texas. They just lost. Baylor, Texas Tech, Illinois, and Houston. And then my final 4 is Gonzaga, Texas Tech, Houston, and Michigan. And then I have Michigan and Houston in the finals, with Michigan being the national championship this year. Wow. Texas down. Congrats to Abil Christian. Wow. How many times? Oh, how many times has a 14 beat a 3 seed? I kind of want to Google that right now. That's so crazy. How? Let's see. What was it? It was a 14 beat a 3 seed. 21 14 seeds have upset 3 seeds since 1985, giving them 21 to 119 record of all time. Make that 22 just now. That equates to a 15.0 win percentage. Thus, a 13-4 upset is 5.71% points more likely to happen than a 14 to 3. Wow. Yeah, so 14-3 does not ever happen. This barely ever happens. Oh my goodness. Congrats to Abilene Christian. Wow. Abilene Christian just knocked him off. So that's super exciting. Yeah, I think this is madness, everyone. Let me know in the comments and the description, in their likes and comments, where what's your picks? Who you got picking number 1? Who's gonna win it? Who's going all the way? Is your bracket busted? And if so, pay me some money. No, I'm just kidding. This is gonna be super exciting. This is fun. I love it. I wish I could just not work today and tomorrow. Like tomorrow, the Beavs play again. I'm definitely gonna be at home, luckily in time to watch them tomorrow night. So everyone, show out to Oregon State Beavers. You're going to play Oklahoma State in the next round tomorrow. That's going to be exciting. We're going to do another update coming soon. And like I said, I'm going to have a few more episodes going on. I hope everyone is doing amazing, staying safe. I love you. I am so grateful for the support. Like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my podcast on Spotify. Yeah, just let me know. I do have an Instagram, only like 2 people follow it, so I gotta follow that. Just do this, do YouTube, do Spotify. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm gonna have another episode coming. We're just gonna have more news. This is just a little generic NCAA news. I just couldn't stop talking about it. And thank you for being here. See you on the next episode.
Listening? Are you listening?